Hi and welcome to Chris Ryan Golf. We are in the TaylorMade Performance Centre again today here at the Belfry, and in this video we're going to be looking at pitch shots. We're going to be looking at a fault which I see really commonly from the golfers that I see through the academy. The fault that we're talking about really does change a lot of what happens with the golf shot. It can really affect the contact, and it can really affect how efficiently you deliver the golf club to the ball in terms of the loft that you present. Now we know that if we can't consistently produce or present the right loft, and we can't consistently make the right contact, we're going to find judging the distance very difficult, because I can make 3 or 4 golf swings which feel quite similar, and I can actually get the golf club travelling at the same speed, but the ball can go different distances depending on how much loft I present to the ball and how well I strike that. So really, getting the strike and the launch angle consistent on your pitch shots is absolutely vital to being able to judge the distance that the ball goes, and we know that for pitch shots that's really one of the hardest skills to master. So what are we looking at? Well, we're looking at the head position, and we're looking at more downswing and what it does in the downswing. Now obviously when we're pitching, we're probably going to be using something with quite a bit of loft. I've got a 58-degree club here, and we're probably going to find that most golfers out there will be pitching with something along those lines, maybe 52 to 60. That golf club is one of the shortest clubs in your bag, which means that you stand a little bit closer. When you stand a little bit closer, naturally the plane of your swing, so the angle at which you swing the club around your body on, is steeper. So the closer I stand to the ball and the shorter the golf club, you can see how that would promote a steeper swing plane. If I had a driver which is much further away, that would promote a much flatter swing plane. So naturally the golf club is setting us onto a steeper plane. Now when we see golfers play shots from this closer position, we would often see a real tendency for the shoulders to work a little bit too much up and down, and when we see the shoulders moving up and down, we often see the head tipping back away from the target. We see the lead shoulder get a little bit too high, the trail shoulder get a little bit too low. So really common is we see golfers with maybe a pretty orthodox starting position, nothing too out of sync here, and then we'll see a little bit of a movement through the ball where the sort of head tips back. Now when the head tips back, you're probably going to find that you catch the ground a little bit early. So that one there certainly was a little bit heavy ground first. The result was okay, but the mat here is a little bit more forgiving. And as I say, you're going to find that it's difficult to control the loft. You're either going to catch the bottom of the golf club, or you're going to find that you tend to hold on to the angle in your right wrist, and you'll tend to produce quite a low flighted shot without huge amounts of spin. When we look at the best pitchers in the world, the people out there who are demonstrating the best techniques and getting the best results, very rarely will we see the head move away from the target through the impact area. So what we actually want to try and feel is we want to try and feel that this right shoulder is working a little bit more down and in front of my head. That's a really good feeling for you. We don't want the right shoulder to be working down towards the ground or down towards this right foot. We want to feel that it's moving towards the target and getting in front of my head. Notice how when I finish my pitching motion, so you're going to do a demonstration here, I'll actually hit the ball. When I finish my pitching motion, my shoulders are relatively level. I know they're not perfectly level, but they're certainly not on this big steep angle with the lead shoulder much higher than the trail shoulder. So that's a really good checkpoint for you when you're practicing, is just to see where the shoulders are at the end. I want you to feel that this lead shoulder is moving a little bit more around to the left as opposed to up in front of you. This movement is what causes the head to go back. Okay? Many golfers will offer advice on the golf course and say to their play partners things like, your head is moving. Okay? Maybe it's going up, maybe it's going down. Very rarely is it the head that's the problem. Okay? This would be my head moving. Okay? That's often not what is happening. It's the body moving in such a fashion that the head appears to move. Okay? It's understanding what's causing that movement as opposed to just trying to keep the head still. So I just want you to be aware when you're pitching and have the feeling, if anything, that the head is moving slightly towards the target. That would be preferable. We certainly don't want the head to be going backwards. That will compromise many of the things that you need to have in order to control that distance and that flight. And those are the two things we really want to be able to control. Good pitchers control the distance very well. They control the flight very well. And as a result, they tend to control the spin very well. Okay, so really simple drill. I just want you to feel this back shoulder as you swing through moves forward in front of my head. That's the feeling. Okay, it may not be forward of my head, but that's the feeling I want. Okay, as opposed to this movement where it's low and it's behind my head, okay? Let me just do one more for you. Okay, and again, pretty good. So do those things, you'll find that your strike is more consistent, your flight is more consistent, you have a lot more control over the distance the ball is going through the air, and that will hopefully mean that from this situation, you'll turn 3 shots into 2 shots, and that will definitely tidy up your scorecard. Hope that makes sense. Thank you very much for watching. Post your comments down in the boxes down below. It'd be good to get your thoughts. There's also a like button down there, so if you did like that video, please click that. That really does help me. And if you haven't done already, then also subscribe. There is a link in the description box down below. It just means you'll get an update every time I upload a video. Okay, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again next time.